can't be everything to everybody, but you could be true and you could be yourself and comfortable in your skin and just represent what's real to you.
I'm very much in a space right now where I'm not doing anything that's going to compromise my peace and happiness. So I think just taking control, making sure you maintain your power, don't give your power away to anybody. That I feel like is the key to truly being happy.
Hey, bro, you better get ready to buckle up because this shit don't get no easier, bro. Once you think the grind gets easier, come on, bro, you silly, man. This grind's only for the strong ones, bro. And if you weak, I suggest you go ahead and leave. It's tough, but it's true. Be safe.
Until you figure it out, find you a hustle, make your money, and you gotta have something figured out. You gotta have a goal. You just gotta work towards. You gotta manifest. It's a whole lot of power in your tongue, and you just gotta speak it into existence and work.
You gotta be cool, not ever being recognized. You gotta be comfortable with that and not feel away about it as long as we get into the check.
Yo. What's going on, Pascal? It's been a minute. I'm not gonna hold you. Give me a second. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Creative. Go ahead, say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. Yeah, I know it's been a minute since I've been consistently streaming, but this actually creating content and being able to run algo bots, I'm trying to find a balance and with regards to this, but I got some super dope things planned for y'all today, and I'm actually going to be reviewing my bots performances month to date. There's some surprises there, a couple of bots that I need to retire. That's why I kind of need to build a couple of new bots so I can replace the old ones and get the new ones in. But nonetheless, Pascal, I hope all has been well, and I hope your endeavors with Polymart and your site nonetheless have been going well with you. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and jump into Claude Code. So my fault. I guess I should have led up to this a little bit more. What we're going to be doing today, because I already kind of teased it. So what I'm going to be doing is reviewing all of my bots' performance is month to date, right? So I'm not going to be hiding any numbers. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, right? So you can actually see what's going on, and we can actually get into the crux of things, right? So you can see the impetus behind the work that I'm going to be doing here today, right? So it is March 23rd, 2026. So month to date, I am down $500. There is 15 trading days that we took. Out of those 15 trading days, we took 578 trades. Out of those 578 trades, I'm about 45% with regards to the win rate. The best day was 93 and the worst day was 154 on average, losing about $35 a day. And there's a big reason here, right? Pause. But that reason is I'm holding on to legacy bots. Is that these are some of the first bots that I created. I'm talking about bots that are months and months old, that when I first started algo trading, right? My eyes now are a lot different than where it was before. What do I mean by that? Before, I used to want take profit of 30%, stop loss of 10%, right? No trails, not being able to take into account support and resistance, not being able to understand how powerful VWAP is, and how that if you use VWAP right, you can definitely print money. One thing I just want to say is that this is not financial advice. If you do seek financial advice, please make sure you talk to a certified financial planner. This is merely educational, fam. So if you do, and let's go ahead and jump back into it. So there's a couple of things, right, that happen differently with regards to me being able to do this for a few months now, like consistently every day I'm here and I'm trading, even though I'm not streaming it, because like there's a couple of things that I had to fix on the back end, but nonetheless, we're going to pick that back up as well. But month to day, we are down a bit, but like don't let the numbers fool you, right? If we actually take a look into these numbers, remember I'm trading anywhere between like 15 to 18 algo bots a day, and algo bots ranging from SPY, the S&P 500, top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange, and also QQQ, which is the top 100 tech companies within the NASDAQ. Now, last time I was on here, I don't know if you remember, but Pascal, you gave me an idea for a bot that I was able to make, and that bot has been doing extremely well. So if you don't mind, like I'm going to talk about that, so like we can actually like give you kudos on that for that idea for the bot that I was able to make. But nonetheless, so let me just give you a little peek into, not peek, but like these are actual numbers, right? So I'm not sugarcoating anything. Like these are actual figures that my bots were able to have. So on March the 2nd, it was on a Monday, we had 12 trades that were untagged. So again, it's just a few little admin stuff that I had to fix, and I was able, matter of fact, you know what I forgot to turn on as I'm talking, like I just want to have a little bit of vibes going. Just a little bit of vibes. I'm not trying to drown your ears. There you go. That should be a little bit better. All right, where is I? So March 2nd, even though you're seeing that we're down overall $23, right? Again, there are some bots that actually do well within the chaos, right? So these 12 untagged trades, there's just a couple of things I had to fix within there, but don't worry, like that gets less and less as the month grows on. And as you can see, Penny for You, our SPY breakout bot, was the only bot that was profitable for this particular, oh shit, you know what I forgot to put? Damn, my fault. I forgot to put that, but you should be, oh snap. My fault. It's just, I gotta get back into the, there we go. All right, we're Guapiter now. We should be, my fault. All right, Gucci. All right, so what was I saying? So Penny for You was the only bot that was profitable, right? Then everybody else was kind of taking a dump, right? We have VWAPer. This is our, remember the VWAP video that I created with regards to being able to break down VWAP, where here's the actual bot that trades it, right? So it had, again, within the noise, there's actually some good, right? So I just don't want to just take the noise and not like just understand the good behind it. So the good is that this bot took 4 trades. Out of those 4 trades, 2 were profitable. So if I just stopped after this little $13-14 rally here, bot would have been good, but I kind of over traded, and I was like, you know what, you're trading, so go ahead and keep going, right? So bot took 2 more trades after that, and both of those trades were losses. And that was just a consistent theme throughout. So the worst that we did was, and I want y'all to keep that in mind, right? Who are the bots that are consistently showing as the worst? Because these are the bots that I'm going to be replacing. So let's go to the end of the week. Oh, let me go to the middle. So this is kind of an anomaly. Reason I'm going to say that is because FB Baby, which is our failed breakout bot, this bot, it was fun to create the strategy, but like in practice, this is one of those things, like the difference between in theory and in practice, right? In theory, it looks phenomenal and everything is actually working, but in practice, things become a little bit harder. In theory, Failed Baby was a beautiful strategy to be able to create, right? This is a strategy where we're betting on the failed breakout, so i.e. mean reversion. And like reason I'm going to spend some time on mean reversion because I think that's going to be the way for these next couple of months. So I want to get a bot that's really prepped and ready to go for mean reversion, fam. And what is mean reversion? Being able to bet that the price is going to revert back to its average. So for an example, let me show you something. So this is SPY on the 1-minute chart using TradingView. And y'all gonna get tired of me saying this, but until you actually like it drills in, and this is kind of helping me too, fam. I'm not going to hold you. Like, I still consider myself a noob when it comes to being able to stream and like being able to go through my process. So when I'm reiterating a few things, I'm not just doing it for you, but I'm doing it for me as well. But nonetheless, so every time you see a red candle, massive sell-off, but whatever. Every time, like, massive sell-off, fam. And that's usually what precipitates the end of the day. But nonetheless, whenever you see a red candle, that's going to let you know that the bears are in control. So what their main aim to do is to be able to push the price down. And whenever you see a green candle, that's going to let you know that their bulls are in control. Their main aim to do is to be able to push the price up. I think what definitely makes sense too is to be able to talk about support and resistance. I know I'm bouncing back and forth. I know I'm going everywhere. Like, if you want me to slow down, if you do have questions, don't be afraid to drop it in the chat, right? Like, I'm here to be able to like be a resource to you all. I'm not going to claim to know everything, but what I claim to do, if I don't know something, to be able to say, you know what, I don't know that. Let's research and being able to find the answer, right? Each one teach one type. So when we're talking about support and resistance, right? So support is going to be when the underlying asset price is making lower lows, right? So let's call this the $95 level, right? So right now SPY is at $97, right? So whenever it crashes through the $95 level, now it's crashing through support level. So what's happening is that SPY, the S&P 500, it just made lower lows. Whenever you have an asset that's making lower lows, now it's a great opportunity to buy. So this could be a signal for some people, right? So you can say, and I created a strategy like that. You can say, just an example of a super simple strategy you can create. Whenever the underlying asset is making 2 consecutive lows, right? And I'm using the Bollinger Bands. So again, I know I'm bouncing around, but follow me. But don't follow me, but follow me, right? So we know the colors of the candles, what that means, right? So the Bollinger Bands lets me know if something is overbought and oversold. Whenever you have the candle going through or poking out, this red line of the Bollinger Band, this is how you're going to know if something is overbought. Whenever you have the candle going to this blue line, that is the 20-minute average, or in other words, using the 20 SMA, which is the simple moving average. And whenever you have the candle going or crashing through this green line here, that's going to be the oversold, right? And also have support and resistance here. Now remember, resistance is going to be the top, the ceiling. Support is going to be the floor at the bottom, right? So what we are trying to do is create a strategy that says that no matter, and the Bollinger Bands kind of does a great job of being able to show this, right? So let me start here. So we have a bull run, a couple bull runs, and a couple bear runs. So this is good. So what I'm seeing, I'm starting right here on this end of the candle, right? And again, I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. So what that means is that each one of these candlesticks represents 1 minute of action. So what we can see here is that the price is running up. It's having a massive bull run, fam. And today was kind of like that. And that's usually what precipitates, a Monday open. Not all the time. Sometimes you can have a major crash. But QQQ, this is SPY. SPY gapped up this morning, right? So what is a gap up? A gap up is when I'm trying to get it there so you can actually see it. All right, beautiful. So this is where it closed on Friday, and this is where it opened on Monday at 9:30. So it gapped up. So what is a gap up? A gap up is when the open price opens where there's no trading at. Now I know that doesn't make sense, but let's walk through this. So this price right here was 948. When the price opened, it jumped all the way to 657. There was no trading between 948. That's almost $9, right? There was no trading between the 648 and the 657, right? So there's a $9 gap up. So all day, what SPY was been trying to do is being able to fill that gap, right? So what the mean reversion strategy can do is saying, all right, I know that at one point in time, the strategy is going to go overbought, right? And I know at one point in time, the strategy is going to go oversold, right? Right. So we have our overbought here and we have our oversold here, right? But what we're going to bet at one point in time, the strategy is going to go back to its average, right? And the Bollinger Bands allows us to be able to see that. So we're seeing here that it's overbought, then it's going back to its average, then it goes overbought again, then it goes back to its average, and a little bit on oversold, then it goes overbought, back to its average. So just back and forth, being able to oscillate between going overbought or oversold and just going back to its average. So we're betting that the strategy is going to go back to this average. So that's the type of strat that we're going to be working on today. Let's go to our first green day, and our first green day wasn't until the 10th. I really feel like the trades are wrong, but whatever. Hold on. Our first green day was when Screeny baby. I think Screeny wasn't until but the first green day was on the 10th, right? So we have multiple bots that was able to make a couple of great trades, right? So Easy Reader, 5 trades, made 75 bucks. A Penny for You, 1 trade, $11. Failed Breakout. Now, again, this is one of those anomalies because Failed Breakout has been one of those bots has not been performing too well for us. And how do I know that? Let me just go to Failed Breakout real quick. FB. So you see Failed Breakout. So in total, 26 trades out of 13 trading days, right? Win rate is under 50%. And we're just down. A bot that I'm really happy about is this Screeny for You bot. This Screeny for You bot, and I want to just shout out to you, Pascal. This Screeny for You bot, what it does, and this is going to be the last breakdown that I do that I'm actually going to like get into the code. But what this bot does, it looks at the market for the first 15 minutes, right? So it looks at the market for the first 15 minutes and it's trying to understand, all right, are we in a bearish market? Or do we think the market is going to go down or crash down all day, right? Or are we in a bullish market? Do we think the market is going to rally? Do we think the market is going to trend upwards, right? So for the first 15 minutes, the bot is trying to determine if it's in a bearish or bullish market. And the way it's doing that is by pre-sampling the data. So it's pulling in the open, high, low, close data, and it's calculating, all right, is this a bearish candle? Is this a bullish candle, right? And it's doing that for 15 minutes, in addition to being able to use some indicators as well, right? And we'll go over that in a bit, but I just want y'all to get the concept of it. Then after that, by 9:40, what it does, it picks a trade, right? So it picks, all right, if it's a bullish market, I'm going to bet calls. And with this trade right here, this was the first day out type shit. This bot bet that QQQ was going to reach the 603 level. We bought a call. We were able to get in the position at 96 and we exited at 114, right? So I got in at $96, exited at 114. Exit was a market rate. So we made 18 bucks minus the fees. So this is just one of the bots that we have that I think is a chef's kiss, fam. All right, but nonetheless, let's just go ahead and get into the work that I had planned for you, and that is being able to actually create a mean reversion bot. So let's get into it. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm using Cursor, and with inside Cursor, we're going to be using Claude Code. So let's just go ahead and open up. I feel like, did I do enough? If y'all want more of being able to actually go over some of these trades, I can. But I feel like I've been talking a lot. Let me just pull up one more. Got Brains is really didn't take nothing. Let me pull out Gappy. Gappy, kind of almost a red wedding type deal. I mean, out of the 15 days, there were 5 profitable days, so under 25%. Win rate is about 37%. So I mean, it's not really that good. So that's why I kind of need to replace some of these legacy bots and get into some new fresh blood in here. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our options baby folder, and this is where we keep all of our option algo strats that we're developing. And what I'm going to be doing is I kind of have 2 strategies that I was working on before. I'm not going to hold you. These are strategies that are like 6 months old, bruv. Like when I first started, I used to create like 3, 4, 5 strategies a day. I would just make them and just put them to the side and never think nothing about it, right? So I went through a couple. It's like, yo, this is kind of a lit strategy, right? And I didn't make it into a bot. Maybe I ran one back test on it, and a back test is being able to take your strategy, drop it off in a time machine, and being able to validate it. The school of thought is that if the strategy does well on historic data, then there's a likelihood, there's no guarantee, but there's a likelihood that it will do well in the future. So again, I used to, when I first started, I was just on it, just making strategies, right? A couple I would push through, others I was just like, oh, I'll get back to it. So this is one of those ones. It was like, okay, I'll get back to it. So let's just go over the strat real quick. This is a mean reversion strategy. Don't let the name fool you, bruv. There's going to be a lot of fancy terms that I'm going to be saying, but in the crux of it, this is just a good old-fashioned mean reversion strategy. What is mean reversion? We're betting that the price is going to go back to its average. That's it, right? Don't let the fancy terms fool you. There's a couple of different ways in order to determine how we're going to figure out if the price is going to go back to its average, right? But again, don't let the name scare you. So this is, bruh, I got it. This is my sniper mean reversion strategy. It uses the failed breakout plus the point of control, or POC reclamation or reclaim. We are trading 0 DTE. These are option contracts that expire the same day. QQQ, the top 100 tech companies within the NASDAQ option contracts. Okay. So the trading window for the strategy is going to be between 9:32 and 11:12. So it's only trading between these times. Morning session is the classic mean reversion setups, right? Maximum trade per day is 1, but we're probably going to up that to maybe 2 or 3. Maximum hold time is 3 minutes, right? So it has 3 minutes to either take profit, to stop loss. Now again, fresh eyes. When I first started this, I didn't like the idea of trail so much. Now that I've actually been trading algorithmically trading for a while, I was like, bruv, why am I not putting trails in here? When I first started this, I just like the idea, okay, if a position going against me, fuck it. Don't try to being able to create like a system that gives it time to recover. Now that I've seen over 1,000 trades, I'm like, no, like it's an opportunity for us to be able to give it time to recover, right? Because at the end of the day, you saw something in that position, and there's no guarantee at the end of the day, because there's sometimes a signal doesn't go for you, right? If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's okay. But if it does, let's give us an opportunity for it to recover. Position sizing is going to be dynamic. You'll understand what that means in a little bit. So step 1, what we're looking at, and I can already see a mismatch. Can you identify the mismatch, fam? Based on what I said and what this first line of this first step is, what is the mismatch? I'll wait. I'll give me a little Jeopardy answer. My fault. You kind of need to see that. There is a mismatch, fam, in the first line of that sentence. Let me see if you can find the mismatch. Well, if you can't, because it took me a while to build, like, oh shit, how come I didn't notice that before? So you see where it says, look at the last 8 minutes, but the strategy starts at 9:32. So if you're looking at the last 8 minutes and the strategy starts at 9:32, there's something's got to give, right? So what we got to do is that we have to be able to move our session start time to the minimum 9:38, right? 9:39. Because if I'm getting 8 minutes of data, but I only have I'm starting with only 2 minutes of data, I'm starting at a disadvantage. I'm handicapping the strategy. So that's why, that's one thing that I notice is like, oh shit, we gotta update that, right? So the start time has to be 9:38 or 9:39, not 9:32, because if I'm pulling at 9:32, that means it's going to be getting pre-market or yesterday's data. Who wants that when you're trading 0 DTE options? Option contracts that do what? Expire the same day, fam. So we want to make sure that we are keen on that. So that's one thing that I need to adjust. So step 1, so just keep that in mind. Prices consolidating. POC, the average for the last 5 closes. This is going to be the fair value. The average range equals POC plus or minus 1 standard deviation. Yes, this is algos, right? So you are going to see algebraic terms here. So get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? It is worth it. That's why we have AI to be able to help us break it down. Just in case I'm not doing a good job, I can be able to tap in with Claude Code to be able to bring it in. But nonetheless, I think I'm doing a good job here. But again, if you want me to be able to take a beat or being able to roll some of this stuff back to so y'all can really understand it, let me know. So ATR is going to be the average true range of the last 8 bars. Think of it like this. The market is in balance and agreeing on the price range. The PLC is the center of that agreement. So stage 2 is going to be the breakout. The price escapes. The price moves outside the area by at least 0.28 times ATR. ATR is the average true range. It allows us to be able to gauge the volatility in the price, right? So high is going to be value area high, and it's above the breakout. Then we have low, which is below the breakout. Think of it like this. Somebody tried to break out. Maybe they won't be able to hold it. We'll wait to see if it failed. Stage 3 is going to be the reclamation. So think of it like this. The escape attempt collapsed. We're trapped. The traders now needs to unwind towards the PLC, which is the point of control. Stage 4 is going to be the pullback. On the last shake before the real move, we're buying or selling puts into the dip. And then this is our aggressive scoring. We need 3 of the 5 in order for us to be able to trigger the signal. We need a direction match, candle close in the right direction. The body ratio must be at least 44% of the body range. What is 44% of the body range? I'm not going to hold you. So let's say the body range, I'm just going to use round numbers at this point. I'm not even going to try to pick it up from the candle. So let's say the candle range, and again, I'm just using exaggerative numbers so we can get a point. So let's say the range was between $1 and $10, right, for that 1 minute. And I know that's exaggerative, but that's really not, because you just saw a gap up of SPY, which is on March 23rd. You can go look it up on the 1 minute chart. It gapped up $9, right? So this won't be too much of an outlandish statement. So let's say that the range for that particular body of candle, right? Remember a candle, this candle. So let's say this range, and the range is going to be the open and the close, or the close and open, right? It's just the opposite for bulls and bears, right? So let's say the range, let me find a nice one. So let's say the range is from $1 and $10, right? So the range that it isolated between that minute is between $1 and $10, right? What we're saying here for the body ratio, it has to be at least 44% of the total candle range, right? So we're looking for the candle to close at $4 or higher, right? Or at 44% of that total candle range. So that's what that means. And then volume is going to be 1.2 times greater than the last 5 bar average, and then strong close or engulfing. So what I'm asking for is 3 of the 5. It doesn't have to be 5 of the 5. I'm asking for 3 of the 5 in order for us to be able to trade. If all 5 happen, trade, but if 3 to 5, slide 2, right? So breakout depth, we're looking for shallow beyond the ATR. So this is how far did we go. This is the reclaim speed. How fast did you reclaim it? And then, so we understand that bit, right? So let's look at the actual code now. So again, we talked about it. So this is the I got it QQQ mean reversion strategy. So the concept is to be able to trade failed breakouts back to the PLC point of control. And we're using QQQ. Remember, one thing I told y'all that we need to fix is going to be this time. The session needs to be 38, not 39. So this is going to be 2.1. And I'm using Python. I primarily use Python for all of my algo strats. All right, beautiful. I told you 38. Unless I tell you otherwise, all of our strategies, bro. When I say all of them, hold on, I'm sorry. All of our strategies are going to start at $100, right? Unless I tell you otherwise, because we want to be able to dispel the notion that you need thousands of dollars in order to trade options, bro. If you don't, especially when it comes to this algo game. So all of our strats start at $100, and then the minimum that is going to need to trade is $10. And then this session, we already talked about that. This is going to be 0 DTE options only. These are option contracts that expire the same day. I don't trade weeklies. I don't trade monthlies. I don't trade semi-annuals. I only trade 0 DTE, right? Why wait to get paid in a week? Why wait to get paid in half a month? Why wait to get paid a couple of times a year if you can just get paid the same day? That's my that's my school of thought there. So our balance zones, we already talked about that and how that's here. Our thresholds, we already discussed that. Now, the way that we're going to select it, that's kind of high as fuck, bro. What the hell was I thinking? Again, fresh eyes. Now that I'm actually putting fresh eyes onto this, I'm like, bruv, this is like stupid high. No wonder this strat is so good. So we're using delta to be able to select the option, right? So what is delta? Delta is going to let us know for every $1 movement, the underlying stock, the underlying option contract is going to move by X delta, right? So in this example, remember one option contract equals 100 shares. So the X delta here is going to be 0.20. So we're going to take 0.20, multiply that by 100, and then we have $20. So for every $1 stock movement, an option contract with a 0.20 delta is going to move $20. Now that's also the inverse as well, meaning if it goes down $1, you're losing $20, right? So there is that inverse relationship to be able to take into a plate. So right now, just looking at the delta range, I'm looking at option contracts that are a little bit out of the money. So these are option contracts that's going to take a big move in order for it to be able to expire at or in the money. And I'm also taking option contracts that are already in the money, right? Already profitable, already making their money. So that's kind of crazy that I made it that high. But again, fresh eyes. Now that I'm looking at it a few months later, I can really like critique it. Another thing to look at is this take profit. I think the take profit is awfully too high, fam. What I think needs to happen is that I need to drop the take profit, make take profit 2 the main take profit, and maybe drop that down to like 13 or keep it at 14, whatever, and then change the take profit 2 to a trailing stop loss, meaning if the profits of the underlying option contract, for example, goes up to 6%, lock in my fucking 6%, right? And if it goes down to 2%, lock me in, like lock me in at a profit, because guess what you don't go broke doing? Taking a profit. The 3 minutes I can keep. I want to make this risk averse threshold a little bit more aggressive, I guess you can say. Reason being, so what is a risk averse threshold? Whenever, if the position is going against us, right? Get me out. Get me out. Right. And another thing that we don't have here is the breach system. So there's a few things that I'm noticing that just needs to be a bit better, fam. But the only thing that I changed right now is this session time. So just based off the session time, let's just go ahead and run our back test real quick. What I need to grab is our conda environment. What is a conda environment? Conda environment is like a garage with all of the Python environments that you're going to need for said strat. So I already have the conda environment. I already at length talked about this strategy, right? So I don't need to go over that again. So y'all, my people, then we get it. Now I'm actually going to run the back test. We're running the back test on 2024. I want to gauge how well the strategy does. We're starting with $100 and then we're going from 100 to, I don't know, question mark, question mark, question mark. Let's see how well this works. We're pre-indexing, so this can be a little bit faster. All right, look at that. If you're following on screen, ladies and gentlemen, we just crossed 5, 6, 10, 12, 15. And only thing I touched was being able to make sure that the session is aligned with the actual strat. That's the only thing I touched, right? So let's look at this back test. We were able to go from $100 to $70,706.26. The return is 70,000%, which is kind of crazy. The Sharpe ratio is 1.27%. Now the reason I'm trying to understand, That's why I kind of don't put too much stock in the sharp ratio, excuse me. Yes, I am looking at it. Yes, that is one of the TE's, technical indicators, that I'm looking at in order to gauge the effectiveness and efficacy of this strategy. But again, I don't put too much stock in it, no pun intended, or maybe. Sharantino ratio. Then we have the max drawdown. Our max drawdown is letting me know at one point in time this strategy lost $1.70, right? Now, because the strategy lost $1.70, that's why the sharp ratio is not as high. But one thing that I'm liking here is that out of 242 trades, we were able to win 90% of those trades. So what's 90% of 242? So like 190, 180, or maybe 210. 242 times 0.90, 217. I was almost there. 217. So I was able to win 217 trades out of 242. Out of those 242 trades, the average trade was $291. The worst trade was $342. The best trade was $2,900. The profit factor is kind of ridiculous, fam. So the strategy felt so bad is that whenever it lost the dollar, it made $42 back. That's what the profit factor is letting me know. So the monthly performance in January, that thing came out smoking. It didn't lose in January, and I don't see us. Oh, there's only 170s, and that was in the summer months. I kind of am going to offset that because the summer months are typically slow, so I have no quorums there. And this is before I even put my like 2026 eyes on this. This is just 2025 eyes, right? Because again, I haven't touched this strat in quite some time, and like I want to be able to adjust a few things here. We have our stops, we have our risk averse, the initial, the retest. So what day of the week? So it's looking like we're above 90 Tuesdays and Thursdays, and every other day we're at 80, but still pushing above 85% for a strat, bruv, is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So let's adjust a few things. I'm not going to hold you. This is why I'm going to bring in Claude Code in order to assist me. So what I'm going to do first is that we're going to replace, I really think I should touch this. Yeah, because this is kind of ridiculous. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put 2.5 and then 5.2. That's kind of my thing. A little antithetical type shit. Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, let's run it. Remember, I just changed the delta min and max because having a delta min, a max at 0.70 is kind of ridiculous. That's like super already in the money. Those option contracts are super expensive, fam. And if you're starting with $100, you're going to be kind of damn near pushing up towards the maximum every single time you try to trade. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So that's one thing I had to adjust, was being able to tweak the delta max and the delta min. So it's a little bit more comfortable. So I want to see what is going to be the performance now for us being able to change those two things, right? I mean, I still feel like the strategy is doing ridiculous numbers. So $8,000. I don't think that's a bad trade-off. 92%, 225 trades, right? So $8,000 is a trade-off, but I'm getting a 1% more better. I'm still plus 50,000 for 1 year, right? So even if I were to start the strategy, for lack of better words, the top of this year, right? The strategy at the end of the year in 2024 would have made 62,000, right? Which is not bad. Sharp ratio is still above 1. Profit factor, max drawdown did increase a bit, but the profit factor is still above 25-30 bucks, right? Which is still phenomenal. And as you can see, we have a little bit more 100% months. January is still 100%, March 100%, 100%, and then our only 70 months win rate I'm talking about is the June, and we all know June summer months are a little bit slower. Put call, we're doing a little bit better with calls, and that makes sense because 2024 was a bullish trending year. It had a little bit of bear pockets in there, but it's a lot more bullish trending than bears, but nonetheless, this kind of snaps. And the only thing that I adjusted was the min max. I kind of wanted to make it a little bit antithetical there. Now what I'm going to do is I have to adjust these TP. Even though it's still doing phenomenal, I think I can make it a little bit better as being able to add a trail and then being able to drop this TP. Just follow me, bro. Follow me. All right. So I gotta grab Opus. I got grab Opus. I'm using the 4.5. I only need 4.6. No, I just read all of it. And where did I get this strat from? I guess I should have did this before. Y'all see when I started this? December 30th of 2025, right? This is when I first started this strat. I got this strat from TradingView. And for those that have been following me for a while, like I get majority of my strats from TradingView. So I just get it from TradingView and then put my own little stank on it, right? Being able to make it work for ourselves. So this just shows the step-by-step of it, but I feel like I've been talking a lot. Let's like get into the code. Read and make sure you load the persona we have for you in the memory file. Then what we are looking to do is currently the backtest has 2 TPs. What we want to do is drop one and make it a trail. Here is what we are thinking. TP1, TP2 is now TP1, and then the trail arm is going to be 8%, and then trail distance is going to be 2%, and keep everything else the same. Trail arm, and that's when the trailing stop loss activates. So as soon as I'm up 8%, that's what I want you to activate, and whenever I drop 2%, that's what I want you to get me the hell up out of here, right? Let me read the relevant sections of the backtest code to be able to understand this proper. What I'm going to do, just in case you fold, is let me just drop you there real quick. Now I understand. The arm reaches 8%, maintains the floor of 2% below the peak price. This locks in the gains while allowing runners to extend to the fixed take profit 1 level. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, fam. Oh shit. You know what I should have added too? Is the charts. I'm gonna add that. Y'all just follow me, but don't follow me. I'm gonna want to add that. So just give me a second, fam. So this is the third thing that we did. Remember, the first thing that we did was being able to update the session time. Second thing we did was being able to update the delta min and max. The third thing that we're doing, matter of fact, I should just put this in the chat. So first was session time. Second was delta min max. And then third is TP and trails. I appreciate you, big homie. All right, now what we can do is now go run said back test. Now we're running our back test. Again, this is the third thing that we've done. This is the TP and the trails, being able to drop one take profit and add a trailing stop loss. I think this is really going to assist the strategy when it comes to being able to do this live. The fourth thing that I'm going to do is going to be a breach system. So y'all follow me, don't follow. Why is it converting to pen? That's what the fuck. So it's looking like we're sliding a little bit better. Mango ting them. Okay. So we went from 65. Let me look at it. Still 92%. I'm still getting the same amount of trades. I mean, it wasn't as explosive as I was thinking, right? We're still at the 78. All right, review, and let's check and be sure we properly updated it regarding the trails, the TP and trails. And then one more thing, again, we don't want to overfit. We just want to be on overfitting. It just basically is making. I hate when people say basically. It's like, oh, basically it means no. What is overfitting? Overfitting is being able to have the answers to the tests. So you know the answers to the test before you even take the test, right? Now let me update the documentation to reflect overfitting. I still have work to do, but my fault. That was getting a little bit too loud. There you go, Beth. Let me just go ahead and let you go auto. I still got one more thing to do, and that's going to be our breach system. Yeah, because he got a little bit too excited. Review the stop loss breach system used here. We want to add/adapt for bruh, I got it. Once you get it, advise before we update the code with it. And with the stop loss breach system, again, my 2026 size, I've noticed that whenever you have just a hard pause, a fixed stop loss, let's say at 15%, right? So if the position gets under 15%, get me out. So if you start at $100, right? If you go down to 85, get me out at 85s. But what we're saying, and I love that the visual just popped up. What we're saying is that the price dipped below the stop loss, right? Now we're going to have breach windows and 2 strikes and you're out, not 3. So what we're saying is that, all right, there was one breach that happened. The price just went to 85 bucks. Then I'm gonna give it 30 seconds, if you would, to be able to recover. Did you recover? All right, bet it recovered. Let me reset the breach state, right? And the reason I'm doing this is because we're giving strategies an opportunity to be able to actually be profitable, right? Not just get out at the first sign of it going underwater. Now, if it's still an adverse position, I'm still going to get the fuck up out of there. But if there's an opportunity for us to be able to recover in this position, why not, fam? So what happens is, again, the breach starts. Did the price recover? Yes. All right, Gucci, go ahead and reset. And was there 2 consecutive breaches? No. We're going to keep waiting. If yes, there's going to be 1 strike. Is there a breach number 2? If we get the breach number 2, then I'm sorry, I thought I heard something. I was like, wait, what? If we get breach number 2, then we're going to exit with the stop loss breach. If not, then we're going to reset the counter and just wait again. So this is how we're going to implement it. We're going to have the toggle system just in case I want to take it off. I don't need it. Then max time we're going to wait is 2 minutes. Hold on. I appreciate your patience. 2 minutes. Strikes, we already talked about that. And max total time for total breach. Okay. All right. There's a 3-minute hold. All right. All right. Let's proceed to update the back test with this. Proceed. So there are some that may say, yo, if you didn't do anything, the strategy would have hit 70K. Yeah, that's cool and all, but you got to be able, we have to be realistic when it comes to like paper testing, because this is still like fantasy world. Even though you want to backtest your strategy, I mean, not paper testing, back testing, excuse me. Even though you want to backtest your strategy, you want to be able to make sure that it's Gucci and there's no problems, right? But you also want to be realistic to what the market, based on what we've seen, based on what we understand the market to be, like how it actually works. Yeah, fam. So with us being able to take a little bit of steps back, but I'm still seeing that the strategy is still advantageous, right? Because we're going from $100 to 61,000. The win rate is 92%. So 9 out of 10 trades I'm winning. Bet. For every trade that I lost, we're making $38 back. Bet. On average, we're making $273. Bet. And the worst trade that we had was $342, right? So I'm not going to hold you, it's not that bad. But what we're doing right now is just being able to fortify the strategy for when it comes time to being able to actually make the buy. And my aim is to be able to take both the bruh I got it and bruh, these two Reversion strategies. One is for QQQ, which is the top 100 tech companies. We want it for SPY, and actually make them into Algo bot. But it's a process with this, fam. Remember, our first step is being able to have our strategy idea. I already had the strategy idea. Right now we're back testing it. Once I'm done with back testing, then I don't know if I'm going to add machine learning or being able to do walk forward validation. I think I have to do that. Then I'm going to make the bot. But right now we are back testing it. So if you do have any questions, or like how do you validate your strategies, right? Because I know you don't just go from, yo, buy low, sell high, have a stop loss, excuse me, at 10%, TP at 15%, and YOLO, right? I know you backtest strategies, or I know you validate strategies. So how do you do that as compared to what we're doing here? And primarily the code that I use is Python. When I first started this whole coding journey thing, I thought I wanted to become a AI software engineer. And normally AI software engineers, they know Python, right? So my code language of choice was being able to understand Python. So that's why a majority of my files, unless I tell you otherwise, is in Python. And it reads like a book, almost, if you get it. And sometimes there's still things that I'm learning. I'm like, bro, what the hell? But then once you get it, it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here. So what we're waiting for is for Claude Code to be able to add our breach system. And this is just a visual of the breach system, right? So we can give trades an opportunity and some time to recover. Once we give them the other time to recover, then we'll be like, all right, bet, let's see how you actually perform. Bruv, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Claude Code used to like output a lot faster than what it's doing right now, bruv. But that's fine. I can still slides, but it's just like, bruv, you could be a lot faster. How is the market today for y'all? For me, remember I showed y'all. For me today, bruv. Oh, I don't think I showed you today's trades. Oh, that's let me show you all the bots. Oh, today we're up. So today we made $23 today. The big bulk of it came from Screeny Baby, and Screeny Baby I think is going to be our leader for a couple of weeks now. And this bot, like, I'm super excited about how we created it. A few more untagged trades, but I need to figure out who's still doing that and fix that. But nonetheless, I'll get that to that. ADX Baby, which is our bot that trades ADX. Okay, are you done yet? No, you're still bullshit. A bot that trades ADX and made $11 today. VWhopper $7. AV baby. This is a bot that trades ATR and VWAP. And I'm going to start using VWAP a lot more because I'm noticing that that is a little hidden gem that I've been kind of avoiding. Midas, this is our little afternoon bot that I created. So most of our bots were in the green, but then we have a couple more that weren't, right? So yes, there's going to be good days. There's also going to be bad. And today was a good day overall. Made 17 bucks in total, right? Because you want to take the losses with it too, not just the gains. And the market today was month to date, 16 days. We are up 2,500. In February at this point, we were down 2,400, right? That's a 49-point swing. And then previous, so we're up. We're trending upwards. Bruv, are you? Oh my goodness, you're still with the bullshit. You're still with this. What I thought I was like buying enough time so it can actually finish with the coding, you know, but no, it's still waiting to output. I could have like finished coding this in a minute. That's why sometimes I get lazy. You're gonna see when it goes, it's gonna like speed up. It's gonna go super, super fast. It makes no sense why it's taking you 6 minutes to do this. 6 minutes, bro. It's not like I'm waiting for you. It's not like I'm streaming or anything. Like this is bad content. I guess you don't care. You're saying as long as I get paid, I can do what the hell I want. You still gotta pay me. Ha 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 ha. My fault. But yeah, bruv. If y'all do have any questions, let me know. You zill me. Let me know if the music's too loud. I flippin' knew it. Bitch, it's like you don't need 7 minutes to write damn near 80 lines of code, bitch. It's like I could have finished this by now. That's what I'm talking, bro. Stop taking me for granted. That's like I feel like I'm in a toxic relationship with Claude Code. That's hilarious. This is mad though. Y'all, does this take that long for y'all? Being able to render? Not render, output or generate, whatever little synonym or adjective you want to put there. This is just ridiculous at this point. Oh, I guess let me put the fourth thing. Yeah, I would have left too. My fault, man. I'll take it. I will take it. Slide, Brody. Let me see, did that. That's crazy, fam. And I appreciate y'all for being patient. I didn't expect this to be a motherfucking whole thing. This is just outrageous. Oh, I can cuss you out. Step 4. Breach system 4 stop loss. This is going on 10 minutes. All right, let's go on and finish, please. Fucking mad. You bet you were imagining. Look at that. All I had to do was just stop it and start it again. It's like hitting the side of the TV. Like from little 90s babies, or just fixing the antenna. Hey Jimmy, go move the antenna. All right, dad. Here we go. Thank you. It only took 30 freaking 50 years. All right, beautiful. Let me go get this ready. So by the time it's ready to run, we can just slide. Won't even gotta, you feel me? You feel me? That was crazy though. I didn't expect it to take that long. Then I have one more strategy that I'm going to be going over with y'all. And while I'm going over that with y'all, I'm going to go make the bot for this strategy. So I'm going to kind of be doing two things at once. I'm not going to hold you. Now that I see the diffle that this one got, oh, it's like, okay, I'm on your ass. All right, we're gonna let that one slide. What I'm doing now is that, matter of fact, let me just let y'all see this, and then I'll explain what I'm going to be doing in this folder, because I'm going to be running two Claude Code sessions, or two cursor sessions at the same time. One is going to be able to like continue with the development of the strategy, and another one is going to be able to move with the bot development. Right, because I know I want to make the bot for this strat. I'm just getting it ready for said time. All right. So we're still seeing Gucci things, fam. This is still Guapita, bruv. So the strategy is still sliding, bruv. $52 seconds, 30. Yeah, it's still the same thing. Yeah, it's not degrading at all. It is not degrading at all. All right, I'm Gucci. All right, what I want to do now is I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna open up our folder so we can actually begin the work of creating this bot. Oh, let me validate now. Before I do that, let me validate. So y'all be like, oh, you know what? You ain't validate. You ain't walk forward. Well, let me do that. Year 2023. Let me run it on 2023. My fault. 2023. There we go. Now I'm running it on 2023. I want to be able to see the performance. Is it going to be consistent across years? This was a little bit of a more of a bear bull year, more bear than bull, but it's still mixed, if I were to say one thing. So let's see how well this strategy is able to perform in 2023. We already seen 24. Let's see 2023. I think it's still sliding, fam. So strategy was able to make a little bit more money. So we know we're not overfitting, right? So strategy was able to go from no 70s, all 100% or 90s, mid to low 90s, bruv. 94%, 244 trades. But tell me I'm lying. From $100 to 92,240, 245.66. That's not bad. All right, now let me run it on 25. That's gonna be my walk forward, right? So we can actually walk forward. If we ran a strategy last year from start to finish, how would it have performed? So let's see. Let us gauge. Then what I'm going to do is start the session so we can start creating the bot for this strat. And again, this is going to be more so template based. Like if you see me create, because I've created a lot of bots, fam. And what I noticed It's like, all right, bet. Let me just make a template. And that's okay. I like this. I like the fact that the strategy is enforcing trades, right? If it doesn't see a trade, it doesn't take it, and it doesn't force the trade. The strategy is still sliding, bruv. And you see it's not trading every day. It was able to go from 100 to 49K. Yeah, the strategy is quite resilient. 90% is what we are consistently hitting, fam. So the strat is ready, bruv. What we're going to do is go ahead and open up option algo bots, and this is where we keep all of our option. Okay, I thought I had something there that you wasn't supposed to see, but it's Gucci. Who is this? Bruh, I got it. So we're going to do bruh, I got it. No, I'm just going to do bruh, got it. Bruh, got it. Then what I want to do is copy. Go ahead and paste you there. Boom. Please tell me. Oh, look at that. I love when you work. I just need to remember. Now I'm doing 2 sessions at the same time, right? Over here, we're fucking with our back test. So just keep that in mind. Over here is our back test, and over here we're going to be doing our bot. Right? What do I need to grab? Hold on. Two seconds. I need to go grab this prompt real quick. Boom. There you go. Read for context of strat before we get into our work. You are required to use your skills when applicable and cite when used, and also you are required to keep your responses under 312 total tokens per output message. All right, then remember I told you the templates. Well, these are all the templates. Whenever I need to create a bot, it's like, all right, bet, you come have this checkout system. Last one I did was Midas. And then we had Got Brains. So Midas was yesterday, matter of fact. I streamed that with y'all. And then today is going to be bruh, I got it. So what I need to do, and also have this guide that I created. A little better guide so that any AI assistant or developers, I may share this on GitHub. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. It's not that the fact that I don't know, it's just a security risk, right? I don't want to get anybody. Never mind. Once I figure out the safest way to do it, then I'll do it. So this is a guide that I created in order to, all right, this is your manual on what to expect when using the templates. This is what you're expected to do. This is how to update it and customize it for the bot itself, right? So it goes through it and it makes it dummy proof, but foolproof, right? Super. Hold on. Super easy in order to get this done, fam. These are all of our bots. Yep. All right, beautiful. So I want to do is copy, come here. Beautiful. You see my returns, bruv. You see my returns. Okay. Damn, hold on, get me right. You were just working. Okay, here we go. This is mic stand shit. Hold on. Here we go. That should be better. Yeah, it is. All right. Now read. Fuck, I should do the change log. Change log. and my little checkout list. The next bot we are going to create is based on this strat. Once you have context, advise before we get this sprint underway. Follow rules, bruv. Follow rules. All right, so while that's outputting, let me come back here. So what I'm going to do, read, boom, then boom, then here's the last one, boom. Then I need you to update. Then let's update with results. All right, bet. I'm gonna let you go. The bot name is gonna be bruh. I got it. Fuck you mean? All right, before we get started, I need to invoke the brain storming. Okay. Bruh, I got it. Strategy, backtest, join a quick rev, quick steps, bot builder guide, change log, Midas, checkout. Okay. Yes. Bot name is bruh. I got it. Yoder, you know one thing that I know that you're not doing right is 9:30. The session start time is 9:38. Make sure you get that right and follow the parms and we are following the parms that we have validated in the backtest, bro, and configs. Make sure you get it before we start with the work. All right, so I'm gonna let you go. Then I'm gonna come back over here. All right, Gucci. That is kind of ridiculous. All right, now I have, let's go to the next strat. Next strat is gonna be bruv. All right, good stuff. Keep up the great, you know, you gotta pat it on the back every now and then. This is the next strat we are going to work on. Gain context before we get started. Explain to us using a simple analogy and use no more than 228 total tokens for your output response. Oh shit, you didn't need that. The backtest uses the wait, you do? Can you double check and make sure the backtest is using the ML filter actively and not there disabled? I know I'm going back and forth, but just follow me, bruv. So now we have bruh. This is our both meme Reversion. One was QQQ. This is SPY. So Z-score is going to be our Z-score meme Reversion. Imagine a rubber band that has been stretched with 2 fingers. Z-score measures how far it has been stretched. 1 standard deviation equals 2 far. BBB power, which is the bull bear's power, checks if the finger pulling is exhausted, losing the grip. When both align and equals a snapback. So failed bruh, I got it was a failed breakout plus reclamation. Bruh is the rubber band stretch. 2 conditions only. And then SPY. And then we're at, don't look at that, but we're going to get to there. All right. So this is our entry condition, right? So what we're going to do right now, and this is a visual for it if you want to see, right? The previous price action. Here's the fractional based. Here's the base level. And this is going to be our entry zone. Once all these conditions hit, we're going to buy a call because the bounce is coming, and buy a put because the rally is coming. So let me come back here before I run it. Currently disabled. The test showing the filter pass all 29. So baseline win. We are going to make it toggleable, but right now keep it off. Toggleable. Start with paper 3, and then after a few weeks we'll be live 1 trade per day, and then paper is 3 trades per day. Yes, bruv. Same as backtest. Yes. Are using same as backtest, bruv. Same as backtest. Got it. 6 clarifying question. The template library includes the anti-chasing. Yes. Enable it with anti-chasing. Beautiful. Wait, what? For the trade registration, I think it's going to be 24. I think it is going to be 24, but we'll cross that bridge once we get there. Gucci, guapata, Gucci. Bro, I love it. I think I love her. All right, good. Let's get this show on the road. Start with configs. Make sure it is updated for the bot. Again, based on backtest. Let's get this done. Proceed. No need to write a plan. Just jump into implementation. I think I love her. Beautiful. And this is just going to be a little bit of a redundant process. Yeah. Reason I'm going to say that is because we're going to be copying, updating, and then copying. Then also updating, then also copying. All right. So I don't know if you followed from you're supposed to copy from the bot HQ, then update based on bot's specifications. Let's get it done. Don't make me cuss you out. You're right. I kind of wanted you to do this one at a time. Do this one at a time and make sure we get this done and tested correctly before going to the next. Start with config. I think I love her. So you just gonna create one in a whole nother, bro, I could cuss you out. Oh, I forgot the I. Ah, you so lame. Docs. I'm gonna put these files in those docs. I'm gonna put this file in that doc. Please listen, doc. Thank you, doc. Get me right. Get me right. I appreciate it. So now what we're doing, we're actually creating our bot. I'm using, this part is going to be a lot more quicker, right? Because I already have the templates needed to create the bot. Now what we need to do is actually just update it so it works and there's like no problems with them, right? So what we're having Claude Code do is go through and just update the template. Now it should run the test. Once you run the test, I'm going to grab some water while you're doing the next one. I think I love all. Oh shit. You know what you're forgetting? Run in using Python, not Python 3. Fix my code, man. That's why I told you to test it before you actually one fail. Fix my code. I bet. Gesticulation? I think that's what that word was. All right, proceed to the next file after you double check and make sure you're not missing anything. Think it would make sense to do utility files. Gallivanting, bro, I swear these words. Yeah. Look at this. I'm so glad I told you to catch yourself, bruv. You'd have had me out here looking crazy because I'm expecting you to actually do your job, but guess what you didn't do? Your job. All right, now it's just going to update this accordingly. If you want to see it done live, let me see if you can actually see it. So you should be able to see a couple things update. See? You see all that just changed? Matter of fact, let me just let you see it here. I think there's a couple things you need to update in that file. Triple check and make sure you're not missing anything. Get me right, brother. So what I'm having Claude Code do right now is just being able to make sure to double check its work because you can't always be certain of it. I'm not gonna hold you, bruv. Even though it's AI, don't forget the artificial part of the intelligence. It can spaz on us. This is crazy. Remember the last time I did this? Bro, I'm not gonna have you sit here. Go ahead. Oh, you looking for the back test is right here. Back test is right here. You could have just asked, hey, I'm looking for the back test. You know where it's at? Cause where I left it ain't where it's at. I mean, what fee are you changing? Leave the fee that is in the template. Don't use the backtest one. Make sure there is no other issues. The back test. Yes, added. I need you to read this. Read. Then continue to finish this. No mocks. All real. All right, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Oh, very much so, fam. My fault. I gotta go grab some water. Claude Code's been an endeavor. How's everything been with you, bruv? I'm just finishing up a bot that we're creating. This is a mean reversion bot. Yeah, this is a mean reversion bot that... Okay, all test pass. Do you want me to go? Okay, beautiful. Mean reversion bot that we are creating. I already went through the back test, and I'm just actually making the bot for it. Right, go ahead. And I actually have another strategy that I'm like working on as well. I'm kind of doing two at one. There's a few that I need to replace. All right, so I'm running the back test on the second strategy. This one is using SPY, not QQQ. And again, for those that care to see, I'm just testing code over here just to make sure our bot is running. So I'm kind of doing two things at once. So I want to see if I can knock out both of these items, like at least get this validated. And I'm probably just make this by myself, but nonetheless, at least get this bot done. Damn, bro, I didn't think it was gonna take that long to load. Here we go. Thank you. It's not like we're waiting for you or anything. Damn it. Once that back test loads, then I'll bring it back. I can come over here. We're at our position. Okay, here we... Bruv. Like, this is just ridiculous. That's what I should have been doing, is just fixing this data loading. Because I haven't looked at this strategy since like sometime last year. And I dusted off the cobwebs and I was like, you know what? This one kind of still slides, maybe. If it would run. Holy shit. These are like the issues that I'm running into right now is like old issues that like I know the answers to. I'm just being lazy with fixing. But like with this next round of updates, I'm going to address all this because like right now I'm just having some data loading issues. It shouldn't take 2-3 minutes to load data for a back test, right? So that's one thing I just like, oh man, we need to look out for that. So this is our second strategy that we are working on. This strategy was able to go from, yeah, I need to fix that. I forget this one has a bit of a detail. So this strat went from $100 to $61,439.22. The Sharp ratio on this strat is 1.37, and the Sharp ratio, what it measures is the extra return we get for each unit of risk. Right now we're at 1.37. I mean, it's not like all the way. Who are you using for your main data? Data is who I use mainly for all of my option data. I don't get paid by them. Oh damn, they changed their website. Okay, this is different. It used to be white, now it's blue. And did you change your pricing? Oh, okay, still the same. I was gonna say, if you made it cheaper, I'm like, bro, I really would put you on. But this is where I get all of my option data from, is Theta Data. They're one of the most comprehensive ones that I've seen. I started with Polygon as like most people, but it just hasn't, it didn't pan out too well because I found myself like always needing to upgrade. right? Because I started with free. It was like, all right, let me see what I can get out of there. Then I went to starter. Then I went to developer, and I found myself always going to upgrade. And I tried out the advanced, but there was some reason why I didn't like it. Why I went to theta data. I think it was gamma. It was some reason that they don't have I think gamma or some shit. I just can't think of that right now. But mainly who I use for data is them. We talked about that. Okay. Let me go fix these issues now. All right. What we want to do is the following. First, we want to... Are you loading it? Where are you loading the data from? You're loading it from here. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? This is SPY, right? SPY. Double check your work, then. Oh, holy shit. We're damn near almost done with our bot, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just go check real quick. Yeah, oh, that was quick. Look at that. I'm over here arguing about data. I mean, I'm damn near almost done with our bot. Double check your work. Then let's go to the signal detector. Boondoggling. That's a hell of a way you want to put it. All right. What we want to do is improve the data loading and vectorizing opportunities where possible. See and review a reference backtest. Because most of these backtests here, matter of fact, I'm gonna have you do this one because this is like my standard. Then let's update to match how we are loading the data to ensure it is efficient. All right, you're doing that. Let me come over here. And that's why I kind of like running multiple sessions. Because I can like, all right, you're doing one thing. Now let me come check over here. What are you doing? Right? All right, so with our bot, we are almost done. We have all of our main files practically done. Now we need to create the signal detector. Once the signal detector is good, then we're going to create the main bot. You already have the structure logger. Yep. The main bot, then I'm actually going to run it to make sure it's Gucci. Then once we do that, and we'll be ready to go with this bot here. And the reason I'm making this bot is because I don't know if y'all seen it before. But again, for my performance for the month, I'm not doing too good, right? For month to date right now. Wait, are y'all looking at the right thing? Yes, you are. Because the thing was just kind of a little slow, but whatever. Month to date, I'm down $500, right? But if you look at the actual trades themselves, just looking at today, we had 46 trades. We were up $17 in total, but I run anywhere between 18 and just make sure that's a little exaggerated. I run anywhere between like 18 and 22 bots a day. So in total, and I don't know if I told you, but the Screeny Baby, this was an idea that I borrowed, not say borrowed, but I remember we're talking a few weeks ago, Pascal, and you told me how you would look at the market, determine what was going on, and being able to buy an option based off that. So I like that idea, and then I was able to create Screeny Baby based off of that idea, right? So this bot in particular, just looking at it, it only been trading since the 16th because it took me about a week and a half to develop this, but it only has been trading since the 16th. And of those 4 trading days, we're looking about 75%, right? Only one down day, but it's looking like every time it touches trades, it's making money. The biggest day it made $198, and then today just by itself, we're able to make 32.81 just off of this bot that's only like 2 weeks old. Oh, hold on. So that's why I'm making other bots, right? Because there's some bots I just have to replace. Like for example, Gappy Baby is a bot that I've been trying to hold on to, trying to fix, but it's just not panning out, right? Just want to look at that bot itself. So I mean, out of 15 days, there are 5 days that are profitable. So I'm looking about 15%, right? Win rate is 37%. Yes, there are some great opportunities here, but this bot, like, I really just need to take back into the shop and figure out what's going on. Another bot that I'm going to be replacing is our failed breakout bot. You see how red this is, right? This bot is going to be replaced. Another bot that's going to be replaced, I'm still thinking about it, is Range Baby. Range Baby, I still think has opportunity, right? But again, there's just way too much red here for my liking. Another bot that I had to replace, I already replaced that because I couldn't afford to keep trading you, bruv. This is another bot that I'm considering. When it's right, it's right. But when it's wrong, it's like, damn, bitch, like, get better. Right, so this is another bot that I'm considering being able to replace. So that's why I'm taking the time to being able to make these new bots today, because I want to get them up for tomorrow's session. All right, aggressive scoring. So we're almost there. So now we just need our main bot. All right, proceed, and you should be done. You are. Thank you. Oh shit, thank you. Go on. All right, now this backtest should be a lot faster. Watch. A lot faster with being able to do this backtest now. See, didn't I tell you? I just had to fix one thing. I was just being lazy. Now that I fixed it, this backtest actually slides, and there's no more waiting 2 minutes just to load data. So your best bot is one. My best bot, I'm not gonna hold you. That Screeny Baby is sliding, but my best bot is this AV Baby. This bot trades ATR and VWAP. This bot, I just had to fix these past 2 days, but after that, even before, this bot was kind of trading very well on its own. But this is kind of another bot that's taking territory of being number one. Another one, like slowly but surely, is VWAPper. Like VWAPper, even though the red looks bad, but I'm over trading this bot. Meaning it's only supposed to be doing like 3 trades per day, but you'll see some days it's like 5, 4, 6. 4 trades today, right? There's only had these 2 losses, could have been wins. I was a little greedy, but nonetheless, yeah, man, one of my top bots is emulating you. I'm not gonna hold you. That was a good idea. I was like, yo, I hope everybody heard that. Yeah, nah, big facts. I just, like, overall it could be a little bit better. And that's why I'm taking the time to be able to replace some of these bots with new creations. Because I was like, man, I was trying to hold. Okay, you're good. I was trying to hold on to some of my legacy bots, but I was like, bruh, like, I've been running you for 4 months. There's no reason for me to keep holding on to you. Let me just go ahead and switch and get this right. All right, bet. Oh, look, they're done. Okay, now we can actually run this bot and make sure that it works. Terminal. Let's actually run the bot and make sure that it works, fam. And there you go. You should be able to see that. CD, go there. I need the content environment. Thank you. And then let me grab that. Oh, I knew you was gonna fold. We got this one issue. It's having problems being able to import the anti-chase module. All right, bet. As soon as you finish, review and let's fix. All right. The class is anti-chase, not anti-chase guard. Yes, sir. All right, as soon as you're done, we should be able to run it with no problem. I need you over here. Ah, you fucker. Let's fix. All right. It would be great. Two more usage fix. Let me know when you're done. Damn, bro, I know you messed up all that. That's crazy. Okay, let's test it now. Bro, okay. We're almost there. These are little bugs that you have to work out. Review and let's fix. One line fix, bruv. Holy shit, here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there, I promise. Let's fix. Oh, I still think you folded. I still think you folded. Yep. Fell the market. I still think you folded. Hold on. We're almost there. I just have one more thing to do. Where are you? Data. First fix when we hit Control C, we wanted to have a graceful shutdown and also review, make sure we're using the data correctly. All right, so let me have you go fix those two things. This is for our current backtest that I'm working on for SPY. What I need you to do is one thing is, all right, first advise what SDTPs used, exits used for this strat. Oh, don't do that. Okay, same problem. I kind of want to drop that. Okay. Yes, let's do the same. Trail arm and distance the same from bruh. I got it as well. Proceed. All right, so you got some work to do. That's beautiful. Let me remove the connection. All right, so are we ready to go? If y'all would see this, I'm looking at both files, and both files. All right, please don't fold. Okay, our bot is supposedly ready to go now. Oh, and it's still folding. I don't know this entry. Okay. Thank you. Where's that line? I just saw that line. All right, almost there. Review. And let's make this a bit better right now. Yes, we get it, but can look better. And advise session. Wait, you supposed to be session aware, bitch. Hold on. Session aware using and outputs when market is open X and when next session is advised via count down. Oh, you know who's playing right now? The beat. Okay, while you're doing that, now perfect. You should be ready to run. And what I did here is just I updated the take profits. Instead of having those 2 take profits, to have the 1. Okay, to have the 1 take profit, so it can be a little bit better. Because I've noticed again with 2026 size instead of 2025 is that it's better to have 1 take profit and have a trail behind it, instead of trying to complicate it with 2. All right, we're still good. We're still good. I would love for that chart to. All right, review and fix and make sure the chart auto opens and works. All right, so we have 2 things working. I need them. Okay, beautiful. Now we should have a little bit more session aware. So when we actually run the bot, it can tell me, all right, bet, you know what? Market's not open. Here's when's the next time it's going to be open. Beautiful. Market is closed after hours. Opens tomorrow. We're 14 hours away. I love it. And we hit Control C. All right, so I'm done with one bot. I have another one to create. So let me come back here. All right, perfect. Now let's add the SL breach system and adapt for Bruh. Go ahead once you get it. All right, so we finished with, okay, let me make sure that it actually runs and works now. So after this, we should see a chart pop up with our bot's performance. All right, Gucci. Bruh, and you still didn't get it. Oh my goodness, I can cuss you out. All right, let me just have you finish this SL breach. What determines a trade range before a trade is considered? Is it yesterday's high and low or delta? So because I use 0 DTE bots, I kind of make sure that we're using today's information. Meaning, like for this particular strategy right here, what it does, this is a mean reversion strategy. So it's only using the current day's information. Right, so what determines, and all of my strategies are different, but for this particular one, what determines a trade? Imagine that you're stretching a rubber band, right? And then once we understand that oh shit, hold on, I'm doing two things at once, my fault. Once we get that the rubber band is stretched way too far, we're going to understand that that rubber band is going to snap back to the middle. So in order for us to be able to take a trade, I'm looking for the price to be stretched way too far. If I had the, okay, here I do. So what I'm looking for, I do have high level, so you can use big words in programmer. All right, big bro. I get it. I didn't want to assume. So what I'm looking for is for the price to be too far stretched, right? So what do I mean by too far stretched? Right now you're looking at the 1 minute chart for SPY using the Bollinger Bands, and this is, what's the threshold for too far? The threshold for too far for this particular strategy is, it still says X. Let me go find that X for you. So the threshold that I'm looking for is, and again, this is a Z-score. So this, and I got this strategy using Trading View. Matter of fact, let me just come here because this does a lot better job of being able to explain it. So what is the Z-score? The Z-score is the price relative to the linear regression line, and it's measured in standard deviation. So what we're looking at is the middle is going to be the fair trend line. So whenever I see the price is too far stretched, and too far stretch could mean boiled decent for mean reversion stat, but what time frame? 1 minute, 1 minute time frame. I only use the 1 minute or 5 minute time frame. Reason being so is because I trade 0 DTE options. I've coded a lot in PineScript in my day. Yeah, no, I use PineScript a lot when it comes to being able to build our strats, because I found that it is a great place to being able to have a foundation. You still need to manipulate it in a way such that it works for your underlying goals, but I think it's a great foundation to be able to build a strategy. But to answer your question, absolute truth, that's kind of ironic, is that we're looking for the Z-score, right? So we're looking at the middle fair trend line, and I'm looking to make sure that the price is stretched. So the threshold that I'm looking at if it is +1 or -1 with regards to the Z-score. If it's +1, I'm going to bet that it's going to crash back down. If it's -1, I'm going to bet that it's going to rally. So think of it like a rubber band that is stretched from its trend. The farther it's stretched, the harder it snaps back. So this is the checklist that I'm looking for in order to enter a trade. So the Z-score is a standard deviation of 1. Yes, exactly. So Z-score is just another way for being able to do STD, or standard deviation, right? So being able to deviate 1 away, I'm betting that the put is going to, or excuse me, overbought is going to drop down, and -1, I'm going to bet that it's going to rally. And if I get +2, -2, that's even better. But for this particular strategy, I'm only looking for 1. If I were to go to 2 standard deviations away, that makes it a lot more conservative, and that's meaning that you're only looking for high quality signals. High quality signals, you're probably looking at 30 to 50 a day. No, standard deviation is based off the current day. It's not based off the previous day. I was trying to get to that point. So the standard deviation is going to take the session intraday data, right? So it starts from when the strategy starts trading. This strategy trades between 9:40 and 11:22. So between 9:30 and 9:40, what the strategy is doing is getting its opening range, and it's establishing the support and resistance line. Once it has this opening range, OR, and support or resistance line, the strategy is then going to look for the Z-score, right? Remember, that's the 1 standard deviation away or 2 standard deviations away. Then once it is established the Z-score, and I'm doing 5-bar look back, then we're going to look for who's in control. I'm looking for if the bears or the bulls in control, right? So that threshold is measured by, let me come here. So to establish if the bears or bulls in control, it's going to be the EMA, or the exponential moving average, the bear power, or the color of the candle, which is going to be green, the bull bear power, and then 5 bars, and then this the calculation for it. So what we're looking for is both sides is running out of fuel. The Z-score says how far it's stretched, and then the BP power lets me know that the stretch is done. So in essence, it's just 2 conditions. Standard deviation is based off the first 10 minutes, all decent so far. What's your entry like, and would your smoothing for the whip? So I'm glad that you asked that question. So I really don't, the strategy has many different phases, right? So what I'm looking for, this strategy is super simple. So I'm looking for the Z-score, I'm looking for BB power, and that's it, right? And then if it's a call setup, I'm betting that it's going to bounce up. If it's a put setup, I'm betting that it's going to bounce down. Now, the way that I'm controlling for whipsaws is being able to have that breach system. This stop loss breach system that I just added is how I'm controlling for whipsaws, meaning that I'm giving the system, or I'm giving the strategy 5 minutes or 2 minutes, right, to be able to either take profit, stop loss, or enter out and exit. So what happens is that if the first stop loss happens, it has 10 seconds to recover. If it can't recover in those 10 seconds, then it gets a strike. And then 2 strikes, you're out here. So the way that I cover for whipsaws is being able to have a breach stop loss system that has a 2 strike system that enables the price to dip down a bit and allowing it to recover. Does that make sense? So that's what I just added here for this particular strategy, being able to have that breach system. So now what I want to do is run it and see how well does it work. And one thing to keep in mind is all of our strategies start with $100 unless I tell you otherwise, because I want to be able to dispel the notion that you need thousands of dollars in order to trade options, bro. You don't, especially if you know how to algo trade. Sub, this is really solid stats so far. I really hope you say channel your exit. So what type of risk reward that I'm looking at? I mean, honestly, the biggest thing that I'm looking at is being able to exit in green, right? Because one thing that I like to say is that you never go broke taking a profit. So the risk rewards that I have right now are take profit is 14%. So that's going to be the first way that I exit. The second way that I exit, I have a trailing stop loss. The trailing stop loss activates at 8%, and then I trail behind it by 2%, right? So I'm not greedy. If I can get 6% multiple times, then it's better than waiting for 20% one time, because my school of thought here is that I don't go broke taking a profit, right? And we have 3 minutes to do all this. Another thing that I added is no cash account, fam, cash account. I'm not leveraging right now. Right now we're trading cash account, and I paper trade before I even have these bots go live. So this is my process. I start with the idea, then I back test it. I maybe will add in machine learning a little bit later. Everybody gets validated, and then I'm creating bots right now. So I just created one right here, and this bot is ready to go. This is based off a strategy that was working on for the past like 90 minutes. And right now I'm working on another strategy, because like year to date, I'm going to be completely honest with you, right? Because I don't want to sugarcoat this at all. Year to date, I've had 15 trades, 15 trading days, and I've taken 578 trades. Excuse me. I didn't want to cough in your ear. Let me know if you can see this or if you want me to zoom in, right? So I'm down 582 J's. That's the other thought of order book orders. So what's the other side liquidity? Often than that, I will give, oh, excuse me, I give you 90%, 100 so far. Love it. I need more information. No, I got you. Let me go over this real quick, and this will explain the impetus why I'm building more bots to be able to replace them. So right now, month to date, I am down 500 bucks, right? Reason being so is because there's a couple of bots that I held on to that I wasn't supposed to hold on to for this long. Like there's a couple bots that I created when I first started back in October, September of 2025 that I'm still paper trading. I'm still tweaking. I'm still trying to get them to be right, and they're just not working out. So even though it says red, like remember, I run multiple bots a day. So there's going to be some days that some bots are going to do better than others, right? Like today on the 2nd of March, like most of my bots were down. It was kind of a shit day. But let's look on that Friday, right? That Friday, I had a few bots that were up. So I have, again, multiple bots that I run a day. And these bots mainly run, I only trade SPY, which is the S&P 500, the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange. Or I trade QQQ, the top 100 tech companies. That's it. I just trade those 2 ETFs. We all lose to win first. I can say is paying tuition to the market. Love building in Python and AI back. Yeah, big facts. I am going to say I've been paying my tuition for far too long. It is time for me to being able to reap those dividends, right? So that's why I'm not going to be lazy anymore. And like, I want to be able to get some of these new strategies that, because I create a strategy every single day. Just because I don't stream doesn't mean I'm not working, right? Because my aim is to be able to create a strategy every day. And I want to see it being a little bit better. Yes, they are the highest of the liquidity. Big facts. And SPY is the most liquid. So that's why I only trade those two. Like if I want NVIDIA, I have NVIDIA and SPY. I have NVIDIA and QQQ. I appreciate you. And this is just a start, bruv. Like I'm still super new in this. Like I've only been doing this for less than a year, honestly, because I started coding April of 2025. But like algo trading, I started in July. When I first algo traded, that was like fucking market making crypto. Now, this is something completely different that I'm doing. So what we have this strat that was able to go from $100 to $60,814.68. One thing to keep in mind is the Sharpe ratio is 1.36. Now, the reason the Sharpe ratio is not at 2 or a little bit higher is because there's still risk involved in this, right? Just because you went from 100 to 60K, yeah, the Sharpe ratio, so somewhat thing is supposed to be north of 2, 3 or whatever. But I think that's good for me because I'm not raising money. I'm not trying to start a fund. This is just for me. All these stats say there's plenty of extra money for us snails. Lots of money left over on the table. I'm all ears. Yeah, there's so much money out here. Like, don't let That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a lot more room for us to being able to add more quant and algo traders to us, right? Like, I heard this from somebody that coding is the great equalizer, or AI is the great equalizer. That's one of the things that I love to be able to do. So that's why I want to make sure that I share my process, so you can see how I do it. I'm not saying that it is the like best, because I'm still learning, right? There's a couple of times I'll be like, oh shit, I should have did that better, or I'm learning to be able to do this better. But it's a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint with these things. Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Not gonna hold you. So this strategy is not bad, right? But there's still a couple of things that I can do better with this strategy that I'm working on right now, right? Drawdown is not bad. This profit factor is kind of dumb, right? Profit factor for every $1 that's lost, the strategy is able, it felt so bad and wanted to make $133 back for every lost, and our win rate is 98%. So 9 out of every 10, really 9.8 out of every 10. So 137 trades and only lost 3 times. And remember, this strategy is super simple, bruv. Super simple. This is all the strategy is. I have strategies that are a lot more complicated, like a lot more complicated. Let me just show you an example. Let me show you Got Brains real quick. So I have this strategy here. Wait, quick reference. I have another strategy, a lot more complicated, right? I have a huge programmer, extreme knowledge in programming and math for years. You are ahead of the game. Keep going. No, I think I'm still in the game. I don't think I'm that far ahead than you, especially if you could connect programming and your background with math and being able to create an algo that makes sense for you. There's so much opportunity out here. Like, there's too much money to make for us to be able to be penny pinching, right? I think it's just a matter of being able to get into it, get lost a few times, being able to, it's not going to lie, there's a few days that's going to be frustrating, but the fact that separates anyone that's successful and the ones that give up is consistency. As long as you're consistent, I think you'll be Gucci and ready to go, bruv. But the reason I like this strategy is because it's super simple. I'm only looking for 3 things, and really 2 things. And as soon as those 2 things happen, I'm winning, right? And simplicity pays, bruv. Simplicity was able to get us 98%. There's still a couple more things that I need to tweak here, but this strategy is, I think is Gucci. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to tweak it that much. Let me just look at a couple things, just eyeball it. Oh, I see some things that I need to fix. Again, this is just 20. This is last time I touched this thing. Damn, I wish I'd have seen that. But this is okay. I see just a big red flag right here. Plenty of money for all of us. It is the threshold of the decent and a simple enough strap. I agree fully. Many money corners in the market and many mean reverse is really good corner. I agree. That's why I'm spending some time and really making sure we have a mean reverse strat that works. But I see a problem here that I want to address. And I think this is something that it's okay to being able to spend maybe 2 or 3 minutes to talk about, right? So right now, let me see if you can find what's the problem. If you can find what's the problem. If you're looking, I'll give you a hint. It's between lines. Let me just give you a big range pause between 200 and 219. Lines 200 and 219. There's a problem here that we need to fix. Let me see if you can find it. Oh shit, my fault. I'm sorry. All right, I'm not going to keep y'all holding, but problem is there's these delta ranges, fam, and my premium min max. I immediately guess cross range. Almost. But these delta ranges and my premium min max and also this spread is what I need to fix. But I'm going to start with the premium min max. Now, the reason I'm going to start with the delta premium min max is because what delta is one of 2 things. It tells you the probability of profit, right? So a delta of 0.12 lets me know that I have a 12% chance of this option being profitable, or I have a 35% chance of this option contract being profitable, right? For me in my house, that's a little bit too low. When I first created this strategy in 2025, late 2025, maybe that was good, right? Right now in March 2026, I'm like, yo, this isn't what we should be doing. I've done thousands of trades right now, and after doing that, now that I know this is something that we should definitely update. And then I'm going to go to this premium min max. So the minimum that I'm saying that we should do is, because right now these are lottery options, right? These are super OTM, out of the money contracts, meaning it's going to need a lot bigger price move in order for it to be able to be profitable, right? So to give us a good range, I want to go and remember the numbers, right? The numbers that we are at right now. Shit, my fault. Let me just make sure. 98%, only 3 losses, and what is that, 60,000? Yeah, 60,000, right? So remember those numbers. Yes, 12%. And it also tells you for every $1 movement, I don't think I said this, I'm sorry. I said one thing, I didn't say the other. But for every $1 movement, the option contract is going to move by X delta, right? So for instance, every option contract has 100 shares. So in order to get that, what the delta movement is going to be, you're going to do 100 times 0.012. So for every $1 movement in stock, this option contract moves $12 or $35. Again, when I first created this back in 2025, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I want to keep it super cheap. I don't want to buy anything over $50. I want to keep minimum $10. So I can see the rationale here, but like actually having like 1,000 trades under my belt now, like I'm actually saying like, yo, if I'd have ran this live, this would have ate me alive, bruv. So what I'm going to do, yes, difference in price. Gamma is going to be a little different. So if delta is going to tell you how much the option contract is going to move per stock movement, gamma is going to tell you how fast delta is going to move. So think about it this way: gamma is going to be the speedometer or the gas pedal, whereas delta is going to be the car. So the car is going to move, but the gas pedal is going to tell you how fast you're going to move. All right. What do I want? Delta. Let me do 0.18. And then I need to up you to 52. I'm curious. 60K from 100. What time range is the back test? 1 minute. I only do 1 minute. 1 minute time frame. Reason because like I'm in and out super fast, right? So there may be sometimes I'll use multi-time frame. Like the highest I'll go is 5 minutes. I think anything other than that is kind of scary when it comes to trading option contracts that expire the same day. So that's why I stick to 1 minute. But 1 minute is not bad. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Absolute. I couldn't have said it better myself. All right. I mean, backtesting. Oh, yes. I'm backtesting the full year. Yeah, backtesting the full year, fam. So remember, all I just did now was being able to update the delta. Okay, so I'm kind of at the same thing. So I lost 8,000. But I'm okay with that, right? I mean, still kind of outrageous with the amount of money that we're here. But it went from 60,000 to 52,000. That's not that bad. The reason I'm going to keep it the way it's at right now is because trading live, I'm not going to get fills at 12 delta. I'm not going to get fills at 15. I mean, unless if I do get fills, slippage is going to be high. It's going to take an extreme high move. I use multiple ticks per second on high level decentral exchanges, 50x and backtesting, WebSockets. I'm with you, brother. Good stuff. Yeah, no. Like, it's always best to be able to make your backtest harder. You make your backtest harder than what it is when you're actually trading it. You're going to thank yourself later. What was I saying? Oh, I'd rather just keep it here because I'm not 100 to 50K is still great for 1 year. I agree. Because like I'm not going to get filled at these other rates. Now, another thing that I need to address is the premium min max. Yes, 5. Yeah, I agree. But I still think we could push it a little bit. I still think I can push it a little bit to be able to make it a little bit better. Yes, exactly. So another thing that I'm going to do is I'm not buying option contracts that are $10. These are super lottery ticket option contracts. In 2025, when I first created this, I was like, all right, bet, let's run. But right now, I think that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to start with $20 option contracts. Then the max I'll let it go is 128. So these are the next two things I'm changing. Remember, I did the delta min max. Now I'm doing the premium min max. Oh yeah, nah, bruv. I have one more thing. Okay, I have one more thing I want to do. Who do I know is that? See the slippage and fees and commission here. We want to add to match to bruh. Go on and do it. Oh yes. I just want oh, so you sell options. No, I don't sell. I mean, I think that's a great way, and I'm not going to hold you. Maybe I'll create a strategy like down the line where we can wheel strategies and being able to sell, because I think that's a great way to be able to have premium coming in your pocket. But right now, no, oh, look at that, bruv. Look at that. That's crazy. So remember, I just changed the premium min max and then the delta min max, fam. I just want to show you what happened. The strategy went from $100 to, I'm sorry, I like to have all this information just whenever so $100 to $87,236.56. I just changed two things. I changed the premium min max because I know that's not realistic when it comes to being able to trade. And then I changed the delta min max, right? I know to be able to make it something that's a lot more realistic when it comes to trading. No, I was asking if you're buying option. Yes. Yes, definitely buying and selling sometimes option contracts. It's all depending on what the algo says. Right now I'm training the algo, right? I'm giving it steering wheels. The Sharpe ratio went up. It was 137. Now it's 149. Let me look at the win rate. Serentino ratio shot up. It was 19 before. Now it's 44.37. Yeah, no, this is not even my craziest one. I had a backtest one time go to $1 million. It started at 100. It went to $1 million. I was kind of like taken back. I was like, bro, is this real? I had to check the numbers like 10 times. Look at this. Max drawdown is under 1%. 98.9. 98.9%. Only 2 losses. Definitely, fam. Definitely. Okay. So now I have just one more other thing I have to do is just update the slippage and being able to make sure that the fees are correct. And then once I'm done with that, oh, hold on. Once I'm done with that, then I do have to make this bot, but I'm kind of going on 3 hours here, and I don't want to make this too long. And you know who I forgot? Give me 1 second. I forgot. I'm not gonna hold you. Question, boss. Hate to ask you blunt, but what about overfitting? No, I appreciate that question. Now, the way that I'm going to show you why this strategy is not overfitted, at least I hope, right? Now, the way that I update or tune my strategies or being able to change settings is I tested on 1 year and then I validated on a 2nd year. So right now I'm only testing it on 2024. So the strategy is only seeing 2024. Then we're going to validate it on 2023 and 2025. The reason I don't like to go a little bit past 2023 or 2022 is because 0 DTE options for QQQ, it only became readily available, like really readily available, like late 2022, early 2023, right? So that's why I like to just back test it those 3 years. But when it comes to like just updating a few things, I only let the strategy see 1 year. Then I verify it on the subsequent years, being 2023 and 2025. So we've only been running it on 2024. So we're going to see the performance on 23 and 25 right now. So right now, I still need to run it one more time for 2024. Then after this, I'm going to run it on 25 and then 23. Then you're going to see that the strategy is not overfit. At least I hope so. Shit, oh damn. I don't want to guess. I just had an error. Review and let's fix. So I need to fix this error. Once I get this error fixed, then we'll be Gucci. I appreciate all these questions, bro. Right, always high validation. You're doing everything right to my knowledge thus far. Yeah, no, if you see that I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know. Like, I'm not like super like picking on being able to take constructive criticism, right? One little question: limit orders, never market. I only use market orders when I like gotta get out, but these strategies only use limit orders, right? Because why want to use a market order and overpay or undersell when I could use a limit order and being able to use being able to pick the price that I want. So these strats only use limit orders until it's an emergency situation, and they have to get out with a market order. But limit, if it's emergency, you get out with market. Yeah. Why overpay? Why overpay if you don't have to? Sometimes there are some circumstances like, damn, I got to get out, so you got to use a market, but 99.9% of the time I'm using limit orders. Oh shit, you finally working. All right. So what are we seeing? All right, I'm still not bad. 100 to 80,000, right? Oh no, I'm not. It's just a matter of consistency, fam. That's it. It's just consistency. All right, so what we're ready to do right now is let's run it on 2023 first. Then I'm going to run it on 2025. But I appreciate you, Absolute, man. I think it's a each one teach one type of deal, right? Like everybody has to be able just to add your own fuel to the fire, right? Just because I'm behind the keyboard doesn't mean I'm not open to constructive criticism, right? No, even if it doesn't fill, my bots have a mechanism or function in them to be able to retry a limit order 2 or 3 times before. Oh, look at that. This is 2023. 2023, I'm still at 98%, right? So I'm not overfitted yet. I'm going to answer 2 questions at once, but no, my bots have a couple of mechanisms to retry a limit order a few times before they go to a market order. Again, market order is worst case scenario. This is kind of stupid. This is kind of stupid. This is kind of stupid. I'm not going to hold you. This is kind of stupid. Now, remember, in 2024, the strategy went from 100 to 80K. In 2024 was a bull trending year, right? So if you could have fucking dropped $50 into the market and just left it there, you would have made money. Market meaning S&P 500. 2023 was a little bit of a mixed year, right? You had a bear bull year, a lot more volatility. So the market, the strategy was able to go from $100 to $105,808.73. So that is telling me, number one, I'm not overfitted. Number two, the strategy is resilient year over year in different types of regimes, right? So let's look at the numbers. Sharp ratio is 1.71, so that's even better. Sarantino ratios, I mean, it's a little low, but again, it's not like, oh, crying for me. SQN is 24. That's still a great number. Drawdown, where we at? Still less than 1% for our max drawdown, which I think is phenomenal. Listen, 98%. 9.81%, which I think is, again, phenomenal. This strategy deserves to be a buy. This profit factor, again, is kind of stupid. For every $1 that it lost, the strategy was able to make $198. That's kind of dumb. And that's 2023. Let's run 2025. 2025, I'm still trying to, I don't have my like summation of it yet. Like in another week or so, because I'm still doing research on it. Like another week or so, I'll have my breakdown of what 2025 was. I just don't have that yet. Your markets are super liquid, super volatile enough, perfect for this. Yes, definitely. And especially like if you don't over trade and being able to make sure that you give your bots enough room to be able to be successful. This is kind of dumb. And again, I didn't touch anything. I just ran it on another year. So the strategy was able to go. This is 2025 now. So we see 2023. But listen, I started in 24. So let me start with 24. 2024 from 100 to 80K. 2023 from 100 to 105K. If I would have ran the strategy last year from start to finish, started it with $100, this strategy would have went from $100 to $144,206.89, bruv. Kind of dumb. Sharp ratio is a little bit lower because we're dealing with a lot more volatility. Right now, I don't have my summation of what 2025 is yet, like I do for 24, 23, 22. Sarantino ratio is a lot higher, so I appreciate that. System quality 16. That's not bad. Can I see a yeah. Give me 1 second. Here are the actual you really can't like see it too well. These are the actual trades, but you can't see it like too well. Matter of fact, let me just pull. Oh yeah, no, I understand, but I used to do that, just like pick maybe 5 or 10 out of here, and just being a matter of fact, let me do that. Hold on. Okay. Review. And boom. Hold on, I'm gonna have the AI do it so we can actually get the trades and review it. I gave you 25, let me give you 23. Pick 5 trades from each and then walk us through it. Pick them at random so we can review on spot and gauge results. That's what I'm saying. We take our time with being able to do this, bruv. No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the commentary. I appreciate you being able to like be receptive to what we're doing here. Again, I don't claim to know everything, bruv. I don't claim to be one of those ones be like, oh, follow me. I got a boot camp. I got this. I got that. No, we're learning together, man. There's a lot of things that I'm still learning that I'm going to get better at. All right, beautiful. So here's a little bit more better view of this so we can actually look at it. So here's 2025 sample trades. On May 2nd, we were able to take a put. We were betting that the market was going to go down. So we bought at 562.5. That's kind of crazy. That is the 0.5, but that's something I'll deal with on my end. We got in the, now for puts, you're going to see that the delta or Greeks are going to be negative, right? Because you're betting that the market is going to go down, right? We are growing. Yes. Big facts, bro. Big facts. So we're betting that the market is going to go down. We were able to get into the contract at $129. Why is it $129? Because again, for one option contract is 100 shares. So you're going to multiply the premium 1.29 multiplied by 100, so it's 129, and we got out at 144, and we bought 8 contracts, right? So we were able to make $118. Another example, December 19th, we were betting that the market is going to go up to 682. Our delta was 19, right? So we got in at 35, we got out at 37, and we got 100 contracts. So that's kind of crazy. 100 contracts. So we made $2, but those $2 times 100 is 200. Of course, you got to pay your fees, and we made 187 in under 2 minutes. And this was a trailing stop. This contract, let me go to 2024. We can see a little bit more puts here. So for this example, April 16th, we bought a put. Why did the trade only enter at 129 and exit at 144, but still make profit? I have I AI check? Okay, so if we got in at $129, right, and I got out at 144, because there's a take profit. The take profit is 14%, I think, with this one. Let me make sure so I'm not lying to you. Where is it? Okay, yep. Take profit is 14%, right? So this strategy, it was a trailing stop. So this strategy, the underlying position, went up 8%, right? And then it reversed on us. Because it reversed on us, we were able to lock in whatever it was. Let's just call it 11%, right? So that 11% was able to yield us 144, and we bought 8 contracts. But it was a short price. Should be no. This is not a short. In that, I understand what you're saying when it comes to being able to short a position, but this is not a short in that sense. This is just buying a put contract. So I need you to put short on that side of the street. For this side, I'm just talking about buying a put contract. This is not a short. So I want the price to go up when we're buying a contract, right? I'm not selling premium. I'm not shorting. I don't want the price to go down. Yes, I want the price to go down of the underlying asset. But when it comes to the contracts that I have, I want the value to increase. So with the value increasing here, which is what happened, is that's how we made money, right? So this isn't a put. Is I'm betting that the option contract is going to go up. So a put is the obligation to sell. A put is the obligation to sell an option contract, but not the right. So you have the obligation to the right to sell it, but not the obligation to, right? So what we're doing is we're saying that, all right, bet. I want to bet that the market is going to go down. Because I want to bet that the market is going to go down, I'm going to buy a put option contract for $100. But I want my underlying value of that contract to go from 100 to, let's say, 125 or 110, right? So I want that value to go up, but I want the stock to go down. So it's kind of that inverse relationship with it. So you want one to go down, but you want the other one to go up. All right, bet. I feel that I've given you all a lot today, and I don't want to make this video too long, because I've already finished with being able to make one bot, and this is our bot that I can't wait to run tomorrow. So the short was right, therefore the put gained value. Yes, but it's not a short in the sense of what you're thinking. I mean, it's a short, yes, because we want the underlying asset to go down, but it's not a short where like I'm throwing, I'm like super betting that like is going. It's not a short like what they did to GameStop. It's not a short like what they did to AMC, right? Like I'm not like super. I mean, but it is, but it isn't. Like I'm like super limited to what that is. Oh, before that, I was going to say that y'all going to have to catch me on another stream because I have the Heat playing. For those that don't know, I'm a big Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes fan. The Hurricanes kind of lost at the NCAA tournament against Purdue, which I'm kind of still looking like, bruv. It's been a difficult year for the Canes, bro. Difficult year for the Canes. But nonetheless, what I'm going to do is I will be back, either if not later tonight, I will be back tomorrow to be able to stream either the paper trading session or being able to create this bot, if not create another algo, or show y'all some other AI agents that I have to still bring to the fold. But nonetheless, if you haven't already, I need you to go ahead and smash that like and go ahead and subscribe for me. It was an absolute pleasure being able to converse with you. Make sure this isn't your last time being able to stick around. I am going to be streaming a lot more. And if you ever do have a question when it comes to being able to create anything, like, please don't be afraid to ask. Yes, I understand you. The value of the contract went up because the stock price went down. Agreed. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I don't want to say spot, like, because that's like almost futures in a sense. Let's just say stock. But stock, yes, it went down. Bruv, I appreciate you. It's a big shout out to y'all. Listen, this is something that we're going to be consistently doing, right? I think that this community is definitely going to grow, and we're going to be all at a place where, like, we're going to be like, oh, did you cross your 1K challenge yet? Did you do your 1K challenge yet? I'm going to bring that, but not right now. I think right now I just want to keep making strategies, keep fleshing them out, launch a couple strategies live so y'all can actually see it go from start to finish. I'm actually going to be showing y'all my numbers, right? So I'm not hiding this from you. So you're actually going to be seeing my numbers when it comes to these bots, and actually being able to show you, like, it's not hard. It's just a matter of the consistency, you know? So nonetheless, let me go ahead and get out your ear. It is your boy Creative. I will be back at it again for another episode. I appreciate y'all.